All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about the making of the film and how you got everything started?
Well, Jim wrote a book called Punk Rock Dad a couple years ago, and it was just a remarkable take on parenthood from a punk perspective, and very, very funny. And my producer, Kristen Riley, handed me the book. I thought it was brilliant, and I thought it could make a very cool film. We were planning on really focusing on Jim, but Jim began to lead us down what we call our punk rock rabbit hole, and we ended up meeting a whole host of punk rockers who were also fathers and remarkable poets and thinkers and philosophers and parents, and that's how our movie began, and that's what it is.
It's really cool. All right. It mainly focused on you throughout most of the film. We followed you on tour. How long was that tour that you didn't see your family at all?
You know, the thing about it, it goes in blocks. Like, and that tour was just they basically once the album came out, it was almost like a 1.5-year tour cycle at least, and then went on even beyond that. But it was kind of like sometimes you're gone for 3 to 4 weeks, then you're home for 2 days, and then you're in and out. And that's kind of the strange part about it for kids. It's just, you know, you're coming and going so much. And it got to a point for me where I realized I didn't want to be the guy that was just coming in and going out the door all the time. You give me a Barbie doll to take with me on the road? I don't think she'd be very happy on the road. She might get in trouble on the tour bus. I've been doing this for 20 years, being a singer for a punk band. Rock belt, that's where the magic happens. I'm not even sure if these are clean. I just found these, but you know.
Can we get you a different pair?
We have a big album coming out, you know, a lot of touring in front of us. We got open house at school, I'll be in Myrtle Beach. Got a birthday party, I'll be in West Palm Beach. My anniversary, I'll be in St. Petersburg. Sometimes I'll be here, sometimes I'll be gone. No, I can't take 20 Barbies. I'll take one. For the first time, my oldest daughter said, I hate it when you leave. You know, I really don't like it. It's heartbreaking.
20 years on, Pennywise is still rocking with a new album coming out, and of course, Reason to Believe is what that's called. You're leaving right after the Key Club show, aren't you? Heading to Japan and then down to Australia, and you're gonna do it all.
This is the ever important shade kit. Everything in there, everything I need to keep moving on the road. Antacids, super important because you eat like shit.
Pennywise is like one of the pillars of punk. And certainly in the punk of my generation. They are a band that really stayed the course for so many years.
Shake hands all day, you gotta get hand sanitizer. The hair dye, gotta keep the dream alive. Keep people thinking that I'm 20 when I'm twice that age.
Pennywise took us on our first Australian tour ever. Right then, Pennywise was breaking in Australia, huge in Australia, and Blink was nobody back then. They were like mentors to us.
Trimmer, because now you're starting to get hairs in weird places. Bunch of hats to hide the receding. Receding hairline has to be hidden from view.
Ron, how do you feel about being involved more with your family than staying in the scene?
For me, it was just so obvious. Me and Tony were talking about you know, substance abuse the other night, and just alcohol, and how Tony realized that he didn't have the on and off switch, and that it's too risky to rely on trying to find the on and off switch. You know, like how many drinks to, you know, so last night he's not drinking, right? For me, I couldn't find the on and off switch about, you know, enjoying being in that lifestyle so much that I'd end up like what Jim just described, or worse. And what I mean by worse is a lot of the temptations and a lot of the stumbling blocks that come along with that lifestyle. And you know, from the minute I saw my little girl's eyes, it was just so obvious to me. And part of that was because I grew up, I've never met my biological father. I didn't have a stepdad till I was, 10 or 11 years old. And I just did that. That was not what I wanted for my kids.
How many kids do you have each, everybody?
I have 3.
You have 3?
I have
3 kids?
3, 4.
You got 4? Do you have any kids?
3.
3? So I take it you were involved in kind of the alternative scene growing up?
No, I wasn't.
No?
No.
Really?
I was a good girl.
Yeah? How'd you get involved with all these crazy guys then? Exactly.
I'm interested in telling stories through subcultures because I think it's often a more extreme version of what everybody lives, and it makes for a good story. And these guys really live that.
I gotta tell you, there's nothing more badass than walking into a room that's all pink, and you got studs on, Parenthood is badass. It's don't go there, man.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than to get up on stage and drinking beer.
Tell us a little bit about the balance that you had to find between staying true to your roots of being a punk and yet still providing for your family and actually making it work.
Yeah, that is probably was one of the hardest things for me, especially we kind of came in the second wave of punk rock. These guys laid the groundwork, and then it seemed like when it came like the early 90s and late 80s, there was definitely when the corporations started coming in and people saw the value in punk rock and let's sell this alternative culture through Target ads and the Warped Tour and all kinds of sponsorship and stuff like that. And that was really tough for me because I believed in Black Flag and the Adolescents and these bands who went out and it was all DIY and it was all for the right reasons, and that got me into a lot of trouble with our record label and our agent and all these guys of wanting to sell the band so bad. Like my agent would say, Jim, what you have is magic on stage. You got to get out there. And I'm like, that's such bullshit. I don't want to hear that. You just want to sell more and you want to sell the band and you want the band to be in car commercials and stuff like this to sell more cars. This isn't about me. This isn't about the song that I wrote. This is all BS, and I just hated it. And you could tell about 4 albums into it I was just like, this is a bum out. But I still believed in the music so much and the kids that were there to see it. I just kind of had to tune all that out. But because of these guys and Black Flag and Adolescents and bands like this that showed that the music was all about passion. It was all about, they really felt this stuff. It wasn't someone like writing a song because they just wanted to get up there and shake their ass. It was like these guys were commenting on society at large, and it was important music, and it really spoke to me and our generation.
You know how it goes? I'll start it. Now I'm standing on a
Rooftop, ready to fly.
I think I'm happy,
Eggs now,
but I could be.
right.
Now I'm standing on the.
That's all I know.
That's all you know?
In the oven.
The oven? I'm not putting this in the oven. I've never microwaved peanut butter before. What if it explodes?
You scared me. But I can do whatever I want.
I think mom and dad make the rules. I think that's how it goes, right?
Well, I'm in charge of my playhouses.
You're in charge of your playhouse? Oh, okay.
All my playhouses.
How many playhouses do you have? Are you a playhouse tycoon?
One of the things that what I've really enjoyed about this film is that I have yet to see a documentary on the children of the love generation, the children of the hippie generation, but I've seen one of that focuses on the children of the hate generation, and it's really a love generation, isn't it? I mean, really.